actually have at the back of the chapter 10 ways to, I'm going to find it, 10 ways to recognize when you are in fear. Because fear comes disguised in so many different ways that sometimes we don't even realize that what we're feeling or what we're experiencing or why we're not doing what we're supposed to do, it's because of some hidden layer of fear that's attached to it. So, 10 ways to recognize that you are in fear. And so, one, I talked about in a couple shows ago about holding on to beliefs that may not serve you anymore. So there are beliefs that are commonly held, and whether those beliefs are actually true to where you are right now, you might be holding on to some commonly held beliefs, for instance, that say if you're trying to build a business and you're trying to increase your revenue, and you might have a commonly held belief that you're not even aware of that against people who have money, right? You might have a commonly held belief that's not serving you because now that belief is actually stopping you from progressing. So a commonly held belief that's no longer serving you, you have to really ask yourself, why do I believe what I believe, and how is it serving me right now? So the second fear that you might have, one way to recognize that you're in fear actually is if you stop moving forward. Sometimes we start progressing and we see what we're doing, and then we plateau and we cannot move forward anymore, and we're not understanding, well, why have I stopped? What is holding me back? And why can I not get to the next level? And so sometimes when you're not getting to the next level or you feel like you've plateaued, there may be some underlying fear that is keeping you from moving forward. A lot of people might fear failure, so they don't want to take that next step. Or some people might fear success, and they don't want to take that next step. Because the fear of success means more responsibility, more expectations, and you might be holding yourself back because you don't want to have to experience that. You don't want to have other people expect more from you. You have to change your whole lifestyle when you start really becoming successful, and you might be happy where you are and you're not willing to change that lifestyle. So that might be something, if you've noticed that you've stopped moving forward or you've noticed that you've plateaued, there might be an underlying fear that's keeping you from advancing. Okay, the next one kind of piggybacks off of that one. You know, what are you really, really thinking that you're afraid of? Many people say they don't really care what other people think. But when you start drilling down and boiling down why you're not moving forward or why you're not taking that step or that leap of faith, a lot of times it is because you are, you don't know what other people might think. You don't know what they might say. And so that stops you from moving forward. Sometimes just being that person that has to get to the next level is something that stops you. I know when I wanted to lose some weight a few years ago, and I did not want to have to get up early and go running because why do I have to do that? Why do I have to get up? I like my bed. But in order to lose the weight that I wanted to lose, in order to reshape my body the way I wanted to reshape it, I had to make that commitment, and I had to get up and I had to do it. And so sometimes you stop yourself because you don't really want to make that change in lifestyle because you're comfortable again in who you are and what you're doing, but you're not satisfied with the results. So you're going to have to make a change. And sometimes that change can be a little scary. So here's another one. You might be afraid of not knowing what to do next. So you don't move forward because you're you just don't know what your next step is. You don't know what to do next. And that again can be very common, and that is an easy fix. All you have to do is find the information that you need. And sometimes it's just small little tweaks that we need that will take us to the next level. And it's not that we have to learn some huge, enormous task or take on this huge, enormous task to get ourselves to the next level. So you don't really have to be afraid of lack of information. But I know that sometimes we don't know what we don't know. And that's when you get a mentor, you get a coach, you get someone who is where you want to be, and you allow them to take you to that next level of success. Here's another good one. This is a great one for people who are perfectionists. So sometimes you might not want to be wrong. So you stop yourself from doing what you need to do because you don't want to be wrong. You don't want to take that next step and find out that you're going down the wrong path. It happens, We make mistakes. Don't worry about it. Just, rewind and go again. Start again. So, let's see. What's another good one? Wondering if you have enough value. That's a big fear. Am I good enough? Do I have enough worth and value to offer someone else? And I battled that one for a while too. Whether I had enough, whether what I had to give was of enough value. And I think I talked about that too. And I gave the example of having a client kind of beat me down in price in order to do this job for her. And then after the job, I just felt so low because I know I did such an amazing job. And so sometimes we don't value what we have enough, and that causes us not to really step out and go forward, and that can be a fear. Okay, when you experience doubt and worry, that's typically a byproduct of fear. Anytime you have doubt or you're in this cycle of worrying about everything, then that's a good sign that you are afraid to move forward. So how do you conquer doubt and worry is you take action. Take action. And taking action builds your confidence. Some other signs that you might be in fear other than doubt and worry is procrastination. I have to beat that procrastination stick. I have to beat myself all the time because I know when I'm procrastinating. And then I have to stop and really ask myself, why am I not doing what I'm supposed to do? And a lot of times, last month was April, tax time. I dread tax time, and I know I'm not the only one because I hate having to gather up all that information and then look at all the numbers and then put it all together, and I hate it. I hate having to do it, and I actually hate having to do it even more so because I don't like looking at the numbers. I'm not fond of numbers. So having to do all that and then not wanting to be wrong, not wanting to do it wrong. So I procrastinate and I have to really gear myself up to doing my taxes. But thank God I have a CPA because all I have to do now is gather everything up and hand it over to him and let him work his wonderful magic. So, it's still daunting. It's still a task, and it's still something that I fight against procrastinating. And actually, just recently, I was doing a Facebook Live, and I talked about that my second book is coming out. My second book is coming out next month, the paperback version of the book, and I'm doing it myself. I'm publishing it myself, and so what was that tip again about lack of information? I was procrastinating because I'm jumping into this whole arena on my own and trying to figure it out. This book that I did have help with publishing it. And so it was a much smoother and easier process. But having to go through this process by myself, I did procrastinate. I did, but I got myself in gear, and it will be out very shortly. Everything is moving forward, and it's moving smoothly, and I'm so happy that I'm finally getting it where it needs to be. And the reason I wanted to do this particular project on my own, the second book, was my daughter wants to be an author one day, and I figured if I learn the process and I know exactly how to do it, then I can help her through the process when she's ready to publish her own books. So there was a method to my madness, but I did procrastinate a little bit getting it done. And the new book is called Age Younger: 21 Tips to Make Your 40s Look Like Your 20s, and it will be available as a paperback on Amazon next month. Yay! So let's see what else. Oh, here's a good one. Making excuses for not moving forward. When we sit and we just make excuse after excuse after excuse, why we can't do this and why we can't do that. A lot of times, the basis of those excuses are fear-based. And so it's really important to examine why we're making excuses instead of taking action. One of my absolute favorites is shiny object syndrome. I have shiny object syndrome. I really do. So, but when it becomes distracting to the point where you jump from one thing to the next thing to the next thing to the next thing, and you're not completing anything, you have to stop and recognize that you're not completing things that you need to actually see through. And a lot of times you're not completing it. Again, it's because you've plateaued or because you've hit like a wall and you're afraid to make the next step. And so you jump into something else. And if you are suffering from shiny object syndrome, I suggest you calm down and you stick with one thing and see it through and remember why you jumped into it in the first place, because it excited you. So, unforgiveness. And unforgiveness is definitely one of those indicators that fear is somehow at work somewhere in your life. Because if you cannot forgive either someone else or forgive yourself, then there's an underlying reason for you holding on to that bitterness and not being able to let it go. And a lot of times fear is involved in that as well, because you want to hold on to it. You feel like you need to hold on to it, and to let it go, you're afraid to let it go because then that person doesn't get what they deserved. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back, and we'll have my guest when we get back. Thank you.
Have you ever dreamed of owning your own online business? Start your business
easy
now.
And free.
It's fast.
Just sign up at mylife.net.
Just sign up.
You'll get a free personal business coach who will support you every step of the way. We'll help you sell products and services. We'll help you sell products and services from our amazing product line in 4 life-based categories that can make you money. Your free business also comes with all the tools you'll need to be successful. Take control of your life with My Life. Sign up now for free at mylife.net.
Hi, I'm Alicia Couri, and you know me from my radio show, Unleash Your Audacious Confidence with Alicia Couri. If you lack confidence and boldness to really go out there and conquer the world, I'm here to share this valuable resource. In my book, Your Signature Style, Unlocking the Confidence, Style, and Influence of the Savvy CEO, I'll take you through a process where you can release your fears and embrace your femininity as a powerful tool to unleash your audacious confidence and win. This is where it all began for me, and I want to share it with you. Get your copy today at acradio.live. Bring out your beauty and confidence from the inside out Buy this book today at www.acradio.live. You're listening to Unleash Your Audacious Confidence with Alicia Couri. Now, let's get back to the show. So I have a sponsor that I am so thankful for, and it's Georgia Bryce. And Georgia Bryce is the author of On Your Way to Meeting You, the journey that changes everything. And she is bringing you the Me Revolution Leadership Summit. This summit is designed to activate the leader in you and disrupt your status quo. Enlarge your territory, expand your reach during this dynamic one-day summit with powerful and influential speakers that will share their real-life strategies that brought them massive success. If you're tired of feeling stuck and you have a greater vision for your life but not sure what to do next, join the Me Revolution, Saturday, June 24th from 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. at the Fort Lauderdale Hampton Inn. For more information and to get your tickets, go to Eventbrite and search the Me Revolution. So, yay! Raideesha Francis is in the house. So, Raideesha here, I'm going to just give you a quick bio of Raideesha. She is a certified Serve Safe instructor and registered Serve Safe examination proctor through the National Restaurant Association. She's been teaching this course for more than 10 years and has learned to explain challenging terms and concepts in an easy-to-understand format for the course's participants. She's a former professor of the Le Cordon Bleu College of Culinary Arts, and she also earned her bachelor's in culinary management from the Art Institute of Fort Lauderdale. She's a corporate trainer and has provided independent training globally for recognized 4- and 5-star hotels and restaurants, in addition to national and international franchises providing training for their management teams, lower and upper level. She's also certified to teach 16 other management level certification courses. And not only is she all of that, but she is my buddy. So, thank you for joining us, Raideesha. So, we've known each other for a little while now, and I know you're outspoken and audacious. Yes,
Me?
you are. So, where does that come from? Where does your boldness come from?
Well, it's a hereditary thing. It's in our family. If anybody knew what our last name, they knew what we stand for. So, I've come from a family of outspoken and bold people who don't really hold back, but I've learned how to tailor it.
How to temper yourself
yes,
a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit. So, our show here is about unleashing your audacious confidence. And as a culinary expert, in your opinion, how can food boost your confidence?
Well, there are certain foods that are known for giving you like a better feel, to be in a better mood. And I had prepared originally to bring some of those, but I didn't. But what I can tell you is if you shop on the outside of the grocery store, around the perimeter.
The live food.
Yes.
Live food.
Like your fruits, your vegetables, your nuts, your lean meats and proteins, that will make you feel better, like nuts and berries and leafy greens and things of that nature. Because when you eat them, some of them release off things that cause you to, have the serotonin and things of that nature, but your body actually feels better. I remember there was a point where I had gone on a vegetarian diet for a little bit over 40 days, and I totally felt different. Now, that's not for everyone, and I love meat because I did go back to meat, but I wasn't sluggish because I learned how to eat things in the right portions.
Right. So let's talk a little bit about nuts, because earlier today we had a little conversation about nut allergies.
Yes.
And you said there are peanut allergies and
tree nut
allergies. So explain the difference.
People get them confused. Everyone labels things peanut allergies. Some people are allergic to peanuts, and some are allergic to tree nuts. Tree nuts are things like walnuts, almonds, cashews, for instance. And an example of that is my aunt. She went into the hospital. She almost passed away because she had her meal mixed up with someone else's own that had walnuts in it. While she was in the hospital, they had her room labeled as a peanut allergy. She can eat peanuts, but not tree nuts. And they almost caused her to eat the same thing that almost took her life.
They brought her walnuts.
Walnuts on her salad.
Oh.
Because they had them labeled as a peanut allergy.
Peanut allergy. So it's the protein in the nuts, right, that people?
It can be different things. It may not just be the protein alone, but it varies for each person.
Okay. So, so we talked a little bit about mood boosting foods, right? So that's the ones that in your fruits and vegetable aisles. Let's talk a little bit about cooking, because again, this is about confidence. And a lot of times people aren't confident in their cooking skills, not just knowing what to cook, but also knowing how to cook. And someone like me, I mean, I cook really well, but I
know you do. I've eaten your food before.
But the thing is, I don't like to cook. And if I have to do a lot of prep, I'm out. I like things that are quick and easy and I can get in and get out. And the only time I spend a lot of time cooking is Thanksgiving or Christmas or New Year's. Other than that, I don't want to spend a lot of time in the kitchen. So for years, people have asked you to do cooking classes. So how is that something you're going to do? And how can people really gain confidence in cooking?
The first thing I say for gaining confidence in the kitchen is ditch the rules. I really don't like stuck-up chefs or chefs that tell you you have to eat this with that or you have to do it a particular way. I'm a chef that cooks for my taste buds. So I don't care if you say lamb has to have mint with it. I don't want mint with my lamb. Or I don't care that you say it has to be medium or medium well. I'm going to eat it the way that I like. So the number one thing in gaining confidence in the kitchen is you have to cook for your taste buds, your palates, what it is that you desire.
Okay, that's what I do. Pull the mic a little closer.
So another thing is, yes, I have started offering cooking classes for people. My company's the Culinary Management Company. So the Culinary Management Company presents the School of Culinary Arts. And you can have cooking classes in groups with your friends at a party.
So this is customized cooking classes?
Correct.
All right.
Because, sometimes you go to parties and it's boring and everyone's just sitting around. But to actually have it hands-on and interactive, that just changes the whole dynamic of your event. Like I'm having one for my son for his birthday party. So,
yes.
And he'll be 7.
He'll be 7.
Yes.
Yay. And we're going to do one.
Correct.
We're having a cooking class.
Yes.
Yay. So I'll be hosting a cooking class, and the objective is to not only entertain people, but teach them valuable skills.
Correct.
Right? And are there any prerequisites? Do you have to know anything about cooking?
Have a pulse and be living and breathing.
Have a pulse and come with an appetite, right?
Correct.
Okay. So for these cooking classes, do they get to customize a menu, or is it something that you already have planned that they can cook?
Well, for the person who doesn't really know what they want to do, we do have certain menus laid out. But if you're a person that you know what you desire, yes, we can customize the menu.
All right. So tell us how people can get in touch with you if they want to do one of these cooking classes or learn more about food safety, for instance, because I know that's something that you do as well, teach people about food safety in the kitchen. So how can people get in touch with you?
Well, yes, I actually have a course called Professional Training for Home Kitchens. Most people think they get sick outside of the home, but there's a lot of things that they do in the home that they have no idea puts their family or themselves in jeopardy. My website is culinarymanagement.co. It's spelled out. So it's www.culinarymanagement.co. If you put .com, you won't get in touch with me. You can also email me at corporate@culinarymanagement.co. Remember, if you put .com, you won't get me.
Okay.
And my number is 786-355-9072.
All right. So we have just a couple more minutes on the air. Mm-hmm. And I did want to ask you one other question about food, because that's what we're talking about. And there are foods that make you sluggish or bloated. Are there any, I guess it's individual, but in gaining confidence, because it's all about confidence, if you're eating foods that, how do you suggest someone kind of understand what is going on in their bodies if they're eating foods and it's causing them discomfort?
There's actually a book, and I don't remember the name of the doctor or the name of the book. I have it at home, but it's Eating for Your Blood Type.
Okay.
And For instance, I have A positive. Did I really say my blood type just now?
Yes.
And dairy isn't ideal for me. And that makes sense because I am lactose intolerant. So you have to do a study and research yourself, maybe read the book or go to a doctor, and they'll tell you what works best for you. And the things that you thought were causing you to feel a certain way, you might find out it's not that it's actually something different.
Right. So Eating for Your Blood Type.
Correct.
Is the name of the book. So you can Google that and take a look at it. And so I just want to thank Raideesha for, getting here. I know it was a challenge getting here a little earlier because our show is a half hour earlier than it normally is. But next week we will be on at 6:30. So mark your calendars. We'll be on at 6:30 next week from now on. So I just want to thank you all for watching. I really appreciate everybody, and have a safe and happy rest of the Memorial Day. And thank you to my guest Raideesha for joining us today. And I will see you next time on Unleash Your Audacious Confidence.
And thank you for having me.
A wise friend always says to me, we have a finite number of minutes to spend. And just like you can only spend $1 once, you can only spend 1 minute once. It's your choice. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for choosing to spend some of your minutes with me on my show. I wish you love, health, and happiness to live your life with audacious confidence. I love you, and we'll see you next time.
The opinions expressed on